In the world of Formula One, long defined by extreme innovation, a wild breakthrough from Scuderia Ferrari has suddenly shaken the paddock. A rear wing capable of rotating until it is fully inverted on the straights. This isn't just a typical DRS opening, it fundamentally flips the car's aerodynamics. Dubbed the Macarena, this innovation is not only shocking, but has also sparked a new technology war after Red Bull Racing quickly introduced their own, even more extreme version. With added speed, major technical risks, and the potential to reshape this season's competitive landscape, one big question arises. Will this radical innovation become a race-winning secret weapon, or a boomerang that destroys a team's chances on track? Let's discuss. This story didn't begin with a long theoretical discussion about active aerodynamics, but rather with a surprising moment at the Bahrain International Circuit during the 2026 pre-season test. On February 19th, Lewis Hamilton exited the Ferrari garage in the SF26. On his first run, something never seen before occurred. The upper flap of his rear wing rotated nearly 270 degrees until it was completely inverted, an extreme maneuver that instantly caused confusion throughout the paddock. This wasn't a subtle movement like conventional DRS. Sponsor logos even appeared upside down from the rear, creating the illusion that the component had suffered a structural failure. Oliver Bearman, running directly behind Hamilton, initially thought the wing had genuinely broken at high speed, a reasonable assumption given that no similar system had ever existed. In reality, Ferrari was showcasing a radical innovation, a clever interpretation of a loophole in the 2026 regulations that other teams had yet to recognise. The following day, Charles Leclerc also tested the system, reinforcing that this was not a one-off experiment but part of a well-developed concept. The data collected showed consistent performance while revealing significant potential gains on the straights. The team even introduced the nickname Macarena, coined by Frédéric Vasseur, inspired by the wing's rhythmic and unusual motion, resembling the iconic 1990s dance, and symbolising Ferrari's boldness in pushing the limits of modern Formula One regulations. Unlike most teams that only open the flaps slightly to reduce drag, Ferrari has taken a far more radical and daring approach. When the car enters a straight, their rear wing mechanism doesn't just open, it rotates almost fully, fundamentally changing its aerodynamic behaviour from generating downforce to producing lift. This transformation has a significant impact. Vertical load on the rear tyres is reduced, aerodynamic drag drops dramatically, and airflow to the diffuser is effectively shut down temporarily. The combination of these effects produces a speed gain of around 10 km per hour, an enormous figure in modern Formula One. Ferrari didn't stop there. They also integrated this innovation with an additional technology around the exhaust area known as flow transfer management, designed to strategically direct exhaust gases to maintain aerodynamic stability and efficiency, even when the wing is producing lift. Interestingly, this system also provides an advantage under braking. When the wing returns to its normal position, it briefly stands perpendicular to the airflow, creating a parachute-like effect that instantly increases drag, allowing the car to slow down more effectively before entering corners. However, despite its sophistication, the system's complexity brings considerable technical risks. Formula One regulations require the transition between high-speed straight-line mode and high downforce cornering mode to occur within an extremely short time, around 400 milliseconds. For a mechanism rotating as much as 270 degrees, meeting this time constraint becomes an extreme engineering and reliability challenge. The issue became clearly evident during the Chinese Grand Prix, when the rear wing used by Lewis Hamilton failed to return to its downforce position in time during the braking phase. This delay caused an unstable load distribution across the car, ultimately leading to a loss of balance and a spin. Recognizing the significant risk, Ferrari quickly decided to temporarily withdraw the system from the following race while conducting further evaluation and refinement. That opportunity came when the race calendar presented a relatively long break, a rare moment that Scuderia Ferrari immediately maximised. The Maranello-based team used this window to accelerate development of the latest version of their revolutionary wing concept, which was then intensively tested at Autodromo Nazionale Monza in April. This new iteration, internally dubbed Macarena 2.0, was far more than a minor upgrade. It introduced significant design improvements, both in mechanical structure and aerodynamic efficiency, marking a much more mature evolution compared to its predecessor. However, while Ferrari focused on refining its innovation, another surprise emerged from Red Bull Racing. At Silverstone Circuit, Max Verstappen took to the track in the RB22, featuring a similar concept, yet developed with a different and even more aggressive philosophy. While Ferrari relied on a cylinder-like rotational mechanism to control airflow, Red Bull adopted a more complex approach, a wing structure that opens like an umbrella with a wider range of motion, enabling extreme rotation angles that were previously difficult to achieve. Red Bull didn't stop there. They also reversed the direction of rotation compared to Ferrari's concept and added a sliding extension system at the wingtips, allowing the surface area to change dynamically. In theory, this combination could deliver a more significant reduction in drag, while also unlocking greater efficiency on the straights, a crucial advantage in the top-speed battles of modern Formula One. This aggressive move was not without reason. A disappointing start to the season put Red Bull under heavy pressure, with only 16 points from 3 races and a position stuck in the midfield of the standings. In such a situation, taking major technical risks becomes almost a necessity, a strategic gamble that could either lead to a spectacular comeback or deepen their performance crisis in an increasingly competitive season. What makes this situation even more intriguing is the fact that the FIA has declared the concept legal. Nicolas Tombazis confirmed that the 2026 regulations allow freedom in aerodynamic design as long as it remains within certain limits. As a result, the grid is now split into 3 philosophies: teams that invert their wings, teams that lower them, and teams that stick with conventional systems. Teams like Alpine and Audi even experimented with different approaches before the season began, while Mercedes AMG Petronas has chosen to remain conservative. All eyes are now on the Miami Grand Prix on May 3rd, where Ferrari and Red Bull are expected to deploy these revolutionary wings for the first time under real race conditions. After nearly 2 months of development, the big question is whether this technology is truly ready to perform at speeds exceeding 300 km per hour in wheel-to-wheel combat. What's certain is that the Macarena innovation has already reshaped the direction of aerodynamic development in Formula One. This is not just an upgrade, it's the beginning of a new technological race that could define the future of the sport. What do you think? Will Scuderia Ferrari's Macarena rear-wing innovation become a game-changing advantage that alters the course of the season? Or is it too risky and likely to backfire at crucial moments? And with Red Bull Racing already introducing a more extreme version, which team do you think will be more successful in maximising this technology on track, Ferrari or Red Bull? Share your thoughts below.